For business owners, we notice an increase in fraud, especially on bank accounts and checks. So we are giving like a few recommendations, which it will have been useful to Mark Cuban back when he started the company and got fraud for $82,000, right? So it could happen to anyone. It could be like extremely smart, but it's good to put some controls in place to avoid issues. We are providing the following 5 recommendations to our clients. Number 1 is check who is authorizing the bank account. We noticed for some of our clients they didn't have the right parties authorized, or employees that they long left the company were still there, so they could potentially have access to the funds. Authorization is extremely important. Second, review daily the transactions on the bank account just to see if something doesn't seem right. There could be fraud, there could be a check that you'd never sign or never release. We see more and more fraud related to checks. Third, I would say careful with the FDIC balances. If it's more than the $250,000 that is covered per depositor, per insured bank. Last year, 2023, we have quite a large number of banks that they went bankrupt, like the Silicon Valley Bank, for example, and other ones. In this case, we got lucky in general because they cover amounts higher than the FDIC deposit limit. It might not happen in the future. Fourth, I will be careful with the operating account having a large balance, way more than you need to operate your business. In case there's fraud, they can remove that money. Usually having 2 bank accounts at least, one savings and one operating. So operating, everyone has access, they can see checks, there are more transactions. But have a savings account where you can move money, transfer back and forth, probably in the same bank if you need more liquidity. But it's different than the operating, right? It has a different bank account number. People do not know what the balance is there, or they don't have access to that information. And the final one is to consider tools like Positive Pay that some of the banks are provided, where you can approve each withdrawal and you have to authorize a list of providers that they can charge via ACH. But there are checks you might authorize in advance, or you can approve it after the fact. Once before it hits your bank account, you have to authorize certain checks. So Positive Pay or similar tools that your bank might have is really important just to be secure and avoid having scams.